I just want to say, I don't even know if I'm enjoying it. Wow. Absolute wow. That episode. Wow. Enjoy my review, because it was phenomenal. Enjoy my review. Hello Avians, and welcome back to the main channel. I've just watched Empire of Death, and can I just say, round of applause. Well done, Russell. There's many things I could say that excited me, but I want to give the negative. The only negative I can truly give this episode is Lucy Miller. Spoiler warning, from this point on, after the moment I mention the word Sadie, Lucy Miller, which I've already mentioned, spoilers will transform. If you've not listened to any Big Finish, and you don't want to know anything about Big Finish things without listening to it, because you think that contains a spoiler, you've been warned, and you've been warned for spoilers for the Empire of Death, just in general, not just what I'm about to say. Lucy Miller, that picture looks awfully like Sheridan Smith. Is it? No. Do I mind that it's not Sheridan Smith? No. And what do I have a complaint about? Well, it got me excited to think that for 1 minute, that they made the whole of the Lucy Miller saga on Big Finish with Paul McGann and the Eighth Doctor canon. As in, does the Doctor know who this Lucy Miller is? Sorry if I keep saying Sadie Miller. That's the daughter of Elizabeth Sladen, who is also the voice of Sarah Jane Smith in Big Finish audios. It's Lucy Miller who we're talking about here. And I'm like, please tell me they've just made Lucy Miller canon. You're telling me that all those of it... What? Really? Oh! I'm like, yes! We sadly possibly can't have Hebe Harris canon due to the fact that Ruth Madeley plays, if I've said her last name right, plays a scientific advisor. But Lucy Miller, come on! Get Lucy Miller, come on! And then it's like, oh, it's A, not Sheridan Smith, and B, made me not angry or annoyed. It just made me slightly disappointed. The outcome of this Lucy Miller character was still amazing, wonderful, and well deserved, and a nice way to introduce it. But I would have liked it to be Sheridan Smith's Lucy Miller from a companion Lucy Miller, not regular Earth woman who's never met the Doctor Lucy Miller. So, will Sheridan Smith ever appear on TV screen? Possibly not. That is our downfall. We'll never get the actual companion Lucy Miller, but we'll just get Ruby's mother, Lucy Miller. So, who else have we not got in this episode that we might get in the future? Well, Carole Ann Ford still with us, and she is recording Big Finish stuff. So, and they're referencing One Day I'll Get Her. So, possibly. Susan Twist went from villain to good guy. Well done. She now joins the unit. Morris. This is my rundown of characters that have done things before I get on to my main points in my review. Morris. What has Morris done this episode to award merits of amazingness? Well, first of all, Morris has, we all know that Morris has his Segway, but on Morris's Segway, right, it has guns. And instead of a, it's a, and that is absolutely amazing. It's funny, it's comical, and amazing. You cannot go wrong with Morris is machine gun made Segway, a Segway is without the handlebars, a Segway, and I just think, wow. Morris dying, not so much wow, but Morris coming back alive, wow. What I'm trying to get at is that in Jodie Whittaker's era we had Benny, the death of Benny. Benny! The death of Benny, which was a side character, but now we've got Morris. I think Morris is my favourite unit character of all time. Sorry, Osgood, I liked you, but Morris! Oh, and Ruth Bader, I quite like you, but I preferred if you didn't come as part of a unit. I just wish you only appear in TV Doctor Who with Hebe Harris. Probably won't happen ever, but just as a side note, you can appear in Doctor Who all you like, but just Hebe Harris, thank you. Hebe Harris is an amazing companion. I've given my standard opinion on that, but let's talk about the episode. So, the Empire of Death. What can I say about the Empire of Death that is noteworthy? Well, it is now my favourite episode. First of all, Sutekh, who has involved massively, was in it to help explain the still connection between our Doctor now, Ncuti Gatwa, and David Tennant's Doctor, the 14th. So the whole bi-generation thing was cleared up. What I mean by that is that bi-generation exists as its concept. But it means that even though they're bi-generated, that Doctor, who is 15, right, in the number system, is still the Doctor that regenerated into 14 from 13. So from Jodie to David to Ncuti, that regeneration still happened, but for them two, it was a split. But he still has all these memories because he knew, obviously from Tales of the TARDIS, we know that he knows about all the Sutekh, so he knows about history of himself because he is the official Doctor. She said, right, who's the Doctor? Is it A, Ncuti Gatwa, B, David Tennant? Well, no. The answer is Ncuti Gatwa, but he did cut himself in half so that David's Doctor 14 could live on. But he still has every memory the Doctor had before, when he was number 13, you know. So the bi-generation actually doesn't impact the Doctor at all, in a sense of who he is, but it does impact on how many versions of him there is. If you catch my very long and very long-winded drift on this cutaway. So Sutekh was more powerful and a lot more like the Dragon-out Merlin in this episode, which is a good thing, because if you're the Dragon-out Merlin, you are John Hurt, and you're mysterious, you're like, I will get you, Doctor, one day, yes. And it's like a proper deep voice, I will get you, ha 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 ha, proper deep voice. And that helps, I think, helps the character, because it makes the character more menacing, and having Sutekh now as this giant creature instead of the smaller creature he was, meant that he could latch onto the TARDIS. The having minions section, which is where he recruited Mel as his minion, was, I think, a nice idea, because it meant that we could see that the torment of the Doctor, as in Sutekh being this evil genius, but to explain the point that Sutekh is an evil genius, but here's how Sutekh is an evil genius. It's by infiltrating him with Mel, killing Mel off, and then obviously no one dies at the end. Doctor Who, it's like Power Rangers where they all get sucked into whatever, by the end of it they're all fine and happy and then wandering off. But I think that the element of the world's plural dying worked really well in this episode. I think mentioning that the dogs were dead and then bring them back to life was a nice nod to the fact that one day in Ncuti Gatwa's career as the Doctor. He will fight the Daleks, but it won't be in the next 2 years. It'll probably be in series 17 if he even stays till that. So I do think it's a nod to here are all the planets that we've adventured on in the last 60 years of Doctor Who. Here they are all dead, but I'm going to bring them all back. And I liked how the Vortex had a bigger use in this episode. Because the Vortex has a lot of use in Doctor Who, but we never, every so often, there's a certain character, there's a certain element that uses the Vortex as an asset, not just as a thing that happens due to the fact that that's how time travel works in Doctor Who. And Sutekh being dragged along on a dog collar, emphasising the element of a dog and emphasised that the Doctor isn't about violence, but he did a bit of maths. If you put death and death together, you get life. And I like the bit where he's flying across, and I'm going to do an impression with my arm here, and as he goes through, he slices, I'll do that again, slices the vortex, so about here, slices the vortex, and then brings life back in. How and why that's explained doesn't really explain. One of my favourite moments in this episode is, and I'll be honest, we all saw it coming. Us in the UK that got Tales from the TARDIS. If you didn't get Tales from the TARDIS, the episode didn't really reference Tales from the TARDIS that much. It gave a nod to it for us UK fans who got Tales from the TARDIS. It gave us a nod to it. And I think the nod to it was really good. And my favourite bit is the fact that this TARDIS, it was in this time area in UNIT, was a memory TARDIS, or as Ncuti calls it, a remembered TARDIS. I really like that. The whole concept of them walking in, the whole thing that Mel at that time is looking around going, I remember that. And the concept of it, there's the fact that it could travel, the fact that they spent years on this, they spent ages on it, and they had enough time to do a few costume changes. The only thing that if you cut out with some scissors, right, if you cut out this scene, it will not affect the episode, was the whole I think she's Sian Clifford. I could be getting her last name wrong, but I definitely know her first name, Sian. She played Kind Woman, who gave the Doctor the spoon. And my main question of all of this is, why? Why was that scene there? It made me question. Sorry if the audio is bad in this review. I am using the on-camera audio, and I'm trying to get my reviews as authentic as possible. But sorry if it's like quite shouty in places. I'm looking at the leveler, and it's going to the red, which means it's shouty. And I'm thinking to myself, why is she there? And why has that got any relevance to anyone? Unless that's Ruby's mother, that I don't see that scene necessary. I see why, because it's like, why not? But I just think that if you cut that out, then nothing will change. It does halt the story that the Doctor, has gone to this place on their own, without a companion. So Ruby's somewhere else at this point, Mel's somewhere else at this point, and we'll find out this Kind Woman has lost her baby, lost her memory, doesn't know what planet she's on, doesn't know where she is, doesn't know who and what where. And I just don't think that's needed. That could just be me, but I think she's not needed. I'm not saying that Sian Clifford, if that's her last name, if it isn't, I do apologise, shouldn't be in Doctor Who. She should. But I just don't think that scene was at all relevant. At all. So, as we go through, I think that the episode itself, it stands up as one of the greatest episodes in Ncuti's. I think it's better than Boom now. Better than 73 Yards, better than everything. There's a reference to 73 Yards that I loved, because she got hold of the TV thing and showed the whole the 73 yards reference worked perfectly, because it then says, it was right when I said my review, it makes more sense now because they've travelled that story arc forward into the final. And I personally, looking at this from a pure fan point, I thought the episode was amazing from a pure technical point of a filmmaker such as where we are now. I think that it was filmed beautifully. I think the shots, the angles, the variants, I think the iPlayer mixing was off, but that might just be my TV. Or if other people had that issue, do let me know so that I can know that it wasn't just me. Overall, I think that the episode was just amazing. It worked well. The pacing was good, apart from that one scene that we mentioned in depth already. It had suspense. It had joyous at the end with Ruby meeting her mother and then meeting going to meet her father and rejoice. Mrs. Flood seems happy. I am going to say Anita Dobson. Well done, Anita Dobson. I think the funniest thing ever is the fact that Anita Dobson appeared at the end wearing a fluffy coat, like something out of the East 17 Stay Another Day music video. Yes, I do know that that's what they're probably trying to get at. And her saying that the Doctor's story is not yet over, and her being this mysterious camera, like fourth wall breaking character that leans up to the camera and goes, "Shh, everything will be dead. Nothing will be alright. Don't you worry." And it's like creepy, but funny, because it's Anita Dobson, who's married to Brian May, who got a song into the charts, which was singing lyrics into the EastEnders theme tune. She was on EastEnders, and now she's playing this psycho, mysterious, fun, adventurous character that is Mrs. Flood. Mrs. Flood might be the new Susan Twist, but Susan Twist, who's an actor, who is now Susan Trad, lives happily on working for UNIT. And that's all that matters in this world, that Susan Twist is no longer evil. Susan Twist can appear in this UNIT spin-off if it ever exists as Susan Trad. Well done, Susan Twist. You've now got a large role, and you'll probably stick with that role for quite a while. Well done. I think this episode was amazing. There's highs, there's lows, there's everything you want from a Doctor Who episode, and I applaud it. Thank you guys for watching. Time to out. Bye!
Don't forget to subscribe to the official Tom Mason YouTube channel.